Hello everyone, welcome to Eye to Eye, Kansas City, Missouri. We just got breaking news in here on Eye to Eye, Kansas City, from Boston, Massachusetts. This is an explosion uh, that left 2 dead, 23 injured, and now the number is now that we just got more than 100 people being treated for injuries at this time. So. Now, this was during the Boston Marathon, where it is assumed that 2 bombs had set off near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. Now, spectators and, of course, the athletes, the runners, the people that were participating in the race were injured, and that's a part of the 100 people, those who were a part of this race and were a part of watching the race, of course. And but as we want to reiterate that there is 2 dead. There was 23 at last check, but now 23 injured rather at our last check. But now there is more than 100 people that are being treated after this explosion during the Boston Marathon. And we're going to get more updates as this breaking news story develops. And we ask that you remain on the. We ask that you go to the Associated Press for the latest information, for their latest bank of resources and bank of information. And we'll talk more about this on the next edition of Eye to Eye Kansas City as we do get more information and as we can make some confirmations on a few stories on this particular news story. So stay with us here on Eye to Eye Kansas City, and we'll have the latest on that particular breaking news story. But now we're going to get back to the latest here on Eye to Eye Kansas City, and what's coming up on our show for today is that we'll talk more on the status of the economy from March, where job numbers the job creation numbers rather have dropped. We'll talk more about that. I'll have a little bit of my commentary in that, and we're going to move back on the calendar to April 2nd, where we'll talk about what was on the ballot on April 2nd, the issues, the results, and of course the voter turnout. We'll talk about those things from April 2nd here in just a minute, so stay with us on that. And of course we have an update from the Trayvon Martin murder case. And finally we will talk about the movie 42 and the Kansas City influence about that. So we'll talk about that here in a little while, so stick with us here on Eye to Eye, Kansas City, Missouri. Now everyone, I'm going to turn your attention to the status of the economy right now. Now, the status of the economy in March was that 88,000 jobs were created, and unemployment remained at 7.6%. And the slow growth in jobs was due to the effects of the sequester, in terms of the sequestration, the massive spending cuts that are hitting across the board, even to include here in Kansas City the air show, because we have the military, the Air Force would have their planes up in the air, but that isn't happening this year. And of course the people that have to approve the planes and things, there's not enough around to go to make sure that the planes are being flown properly. Everything's in proper protocols and everything. So there's not enough money to have that. So the Kansas City here in Kansas City has an effect of the air show, and it has a big significance. And of course, people can get their refunds back if so, because the show is canceled. But the other show for the Kiddle Diddles is still in place. So don't worry if you're thinking about the kids show is canceled. No, it's not. But the the air show that we know is canceled. It's not going to be an encore. It is a refundable event. So, and that's all we know of right now. And of course, the sequester is taking a big chunk for those who need, who use Social Security or get Social Security, and disability. Those are going to take some big cuts as well out of the spending. And of course, President Barack Obama is planning to make some more. Is planning to make cuts out of those. So I'm not sure if he's playing leverage with the Republicans or what. And the Republicans now want to change their tune. So welcome to a never-ending story in Washington. So it's just one of those things that we have to deal with. Making sure that my microphone is on, so that way you can still hear me. All right. So that's pretty much it. It has a lot to do with Social Security and disability. It has a lot to do with the KC Air Show. It's going to have a lot to do with child care. If you're going to get quality child care here in Missouri, it's a lot of things that is going to, it's like a domino effect getting ready to take place. Federal employees are going to be taking a furlough arrangement, as we've been hearing about for several weeks now. So it's just a downward spiral, a domino effect that is taking place with this sequester. So, if I were you, I would harass, and you didn't hear it from me, but I would harass my lawmakers in Washington to do what they need to do, take care of business instead of playing around. Who did what and who's playing the blame game here. So that's all we have for that at this time. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Had to clear my throat. Now, on April 2nd, there were 3 major issues on the ballot here in Kansas City. And these 3 major ballots range from having an ordinance for non-component nuclear weapons, from the health levy tax renewal, to nonprofit organizations paying a tourism tax, and of course there was surrounding Kansas City, for surrounding cities in Kansas City, there was major school elections from cities and towns like Raytown, Hickman Mills School District, and the Grandview School District, Grandview C4, Hickman Mills C1, and C2 in Raytown. And of course, those results will be at the bottom of your screen today, here on Eye to Eye Kansas City. So just keep your eyes on the prize at the bottom of your screen with our returns from the school board at the bottom of your screen there. Now I'm going to go ahead and give you those results, and we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about those 3 questions that I've just mentioned. All right. If I don't fall off my little phone book here, my phone book platform. Okay, question 1 was, of course, the health tax levy renewal. Now, this helps the uninsured in Kansas City to obtain health care when they don't have insurance and things of that nature. And some of you have probably just said, well, we got Obamacare on the way. Well, that's a questionable thing right now. Now, I'm for it. Yes, I am for President, because there's things around the country that we don't have this particular system in some cities across the nation. I mean, it's whatever it is on that. You know, some cities do have this levy, and some cities don't have this levy. And Kansas City is fortunate to have it, which you guys took the vote. The question one took a yes vote at 81.98% of the vote, and a no vote of 18.02%. Now, question two, moving forward to question two, which mentions the non-profit tourism tax to tourists. I hope I didn't say the wrong thing. Tourist should pay will continue to pay a tax. Will nonprofit organizations pay a tourist tax when they come to Kansas City, if they come visit and come visit here in Kansas City? Well, you guys voted at 81.10% vote. That was a yes vote, of course, obviously, for yes. And a no vote is an 18.90% vote. Then an ordinance of this question three, moving forward to question three now. Question three talks about creating, should the city of Kansas City create an ordinance that dictates, that stipulates manufacturing of non-components of nuclear weapons. And you guys voted that the city did not need to make an ordinance, and that was at the no vote is at a 75.96%, and a yes vote was at 24.04% vote for no. For the yes vote for the. But that particular question was an iffy one, and I also think question two was an iffy issue as well on the ballot. And I don't know why they do this every year. Every time for this election around, they always put the things to stump voters on. And they hope that you vote accidentally for it, because that way you guys won't have to worry about it. That's what they try to do. That's what they try to do all the time with this particular issue. Now, that's pretty much that in terms of the election results of the three major issues in Kansas City. The three major issues that we talked about with questions 1, 2, and 3 on the ballots, ranging from the health levy tax renewal, nonprofit organizations tourism tax, and the ordinance of the city's ordinance, or should the city make an ordinance or legislate an ordinance to stipulate the manufacturing of non-component of nuclear weapons. And of course, we told you about the results. I just told you about the results. And of course, we want to invite you to, if you want to see these results in real time, and of course they might change, visit kceb.org. Again, that is kceb.org. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about how many votes were cast, and this is also coming from the Kansas City Election Board. Now, there were 22,494 votes that were casted, which resulted in an overall voter turnout of 9.94%. Again, that is 9.94% of that vote of voters turned out. I was at least anticipating 60-something% come on out, but take a look at this number. There's 226,204 people that are registered to vote. And out of those people, once again, there was 22,494 people that went out and casted their vote. And I think that was just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous how we don't take advantage of our democracy system. It's one of those things there. All right, everyone, we're going to go ahead and get ready to take a break. And when we come back here on Eye to Eye Kansas City, we will have more on the Trayvon Martin murder case, an update at least with the Trayvon Martin murder case. And of course, a recent witness that was Trayvon Martin's girlfriend. We'll talk more about that coming up here on Eye to Eye Kansas City. And of course, we'll have the latest on the movie 42. Stay with us here on Eye to Eye Kansas City.
This is AP News Minute. Boston police say 2 people were killed when a pair of bombs exploded near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. The blast shattered the end of the race. Meantime, an intelligence official says 2 more explosive devices have been found near the scene of the Boston Marathon. It's not yet clear what kind of devices were found, but the official said the first 2 did appear to be bombs. They say there was a 3rd explosion at the JFK Library. Baghdad has been the target of deadly attacks that left at least 55 people dead. The attacks appear to be the work of Al-Qaeda in Iraq and come days before Iraq's first election since U.S. troops left. And for the 2nd year in a row, President Barack Obama welcomed the BCS national champion Alabama Crimson Tide football team to the White House. Alabama defeated Notre Dame in the title game back in January. Nicole Rether, The Associated Press, with AP News Minute.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Si te sientes muy feliz, aplaude así. If you're happy and you know it, then your life will surely show it. Si te sientes muy feliz, aplaude así.
Unforgettable, that's what you are.
Unforgettable, though near or far.
Like a song of love that clings to me, how the thought of you does things to me never before has someone been more
unforgettable in every way,
and forevermore. That's how you'll stay.
That's how you'll stay.
That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too.
Welcome back to Eye to Eye Kansas City. Alright, this is a recent update that we're going to give you here on Eye to Eye, Kansas City, on the Trayvon Martin murder case. Now, here's what's going on in this particular situation. Robert Zimmerman, who is George Zimmerman's brother, made a tweet post of comparing Trayvon Martin to DeMarcus. I'm not going to give his last name. I'm going to just give him my last name of Doe, who is 17 years of age. Now, DeMarcus killed a 1-year-old child, and on this particular tweet, Robert Zimmerman had a picture and using racial slurs and things of that nature. But here's my commentary on what I've just told you. Robert and George, and I've said this on George, but Robert and George better watch themselves. And they better watch what they say. And that's all, And for Robert, you don't know nothing. You never know nothing. Because you just stupid acting. That's all you ever going to be about, is just acting stupid. And acting stupid don't pay nothing. It doesn't do anything for you. But they just keep on talking, George and Robert. They just keep on talking and keep on walking, and they just finding themselves up to get. Now we're having some audio difficulties and we're having video difficulties because the president is going to speak about the situation of the. Is my mic going off? No, it ain't. Okay, now speaking on the president, he's making his statement about what had took place in Boston. We don't have that as of right now, but we will be getting it. President Obama is responding to the events that took place with the Boston Marathon explosions. Now, there was 2 bombs, just to reiterate with you. There was 2 bombs reportedly to cause this big explosion, and it is to reiterate with you that 2 people are dead, and that over 100 people are being treated for injuries at this hour, which we will have the latest updates right here on Eye to Eye Kansas City. So stay with us, and of course you can always join our partners with the Associated Press with the latest coverage of the Boston Marathon explosion. And of course, the president right now is speaking about this particular issue. But moving back to what I was talking about with this, and before I even move forward, there's talks about increasing security due to this situation, as we're hearing across the U.S. It is unknown at this time that if this act is an act of terrorism, or is it an act of someone, is it an act between a terrorist group, or is it other factors? We really don't know at this time, however. All right, everyone, that's pretty much what we have of right now. But moving back to the Robert Zimmerman situation, I don't understand how Robert Zimmerman thinks he's all that in a bag of chips, and I don't understand how he thinks both of them is guilty. Both men, I don't even want to call them men, both cowards are guilty of taking. One is for taking one is for one person for taking a young man's life, and that young man shouldn't have had a bullet held against his body to make him die. No, there's no reason for it. But you know what? You get back what you dish out. And, you know, that goes for both George and Robert Zimmerman. So, you know what? If you don't get justice now, you're going to get it at some point. So, if I were you, I'd pray that they put me in jail. That's what I would do. And keep me in jail. And you better hope they put you in maximum security, so that way they don't beat your butt up. But anyhow, I want to move to a little lighter touch, since we've been very hard-hitting on this show. And this is pretty much about the movie. We're going to talk about the movie 42, which is a depiction of, which is not really a depiction, but it's based off of Jackie Robinson, who had broke the color barrier, playing on the MLB team, the Dodgers. And of course, Jackie Robinson, looking at this, my teleprompter's going out. Okay. Jackie Robinson has a Kansas City connection, and he played on the Negro Leagues league, the Kansas City Monarchs. So there's the Kansas City connection there. But the big Hollywood connection here in Kansas City was when Harrison Ford came to premiere the movie in the Northland, and met by Bob Kendrick of the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, and over on 18th and Vine here in Kansas City, Missouri. Now, what is 42? Some of you probably haven't seen it like myself. That is, I have plans to go see it at some point. Hopefully scheduled, but I really want to see it because, you know, it's one of those films that we want to support and endorse. Now, the stars that play in 42. Now, 42, of course, is the number that Jackie Robinson wore while he was with the Dodgers. Now, who is playing Jackie Robinson, you might ask? Well, Chadwick Boseman is playing Robinson. Harrison Ford, as I mentioned, that came to Kansas City, is playing Branch Rickey. Christopher Maloney as Leo Durocher. And John C. McGinley as Red Barber, and T.R. Knight as Harold Perlette, and Lucas Black as Pee Wee Reese. And of course, Nicole Barry as Rachel Izam Robinson. Well, you know, it's a good movie. I hope it is, because and I'm not trying to be smart alecky or anything like that. It seems to be a good movie from what we saw from the tease, and of course you probably just previously looked at it. I wasn't paying attention to my screen. Now the movie is already released. It released on April 12th, and of course you know that. It's already made $27.3 million in its opening weekend. So that's a pretty good start for this movie. And it has received a lot of great reviews. And it's pretty much, like I said, it's earned $27.3 million for its opening weekend. The best premiere for a baseball-themed film in Hollywood history. And all right, everyone, that wraps up our show for today, ladies and gentlemen, and I do thank you for watching our program for today. And this is, of course, our next to last program. So the anticipation is really jumping up, and We'll keep you advised on the breaking news story of the Boston Marathon explosion. To reiterate with you, 2 people are acclaimed or presumed dead at this time. Over 100 people. And as I'm getting word of, it was 2 explosions that took place near the finish line of the Boston massacre. I mean, of the Boston Marathon, not the massacre. Who wrote this? So that pretty much sums that up. We'll have the latest details on the next and last edition of Eye to Eye Kansas City, and we hope that you join us. And we want to invite you to get the latest coverage on this breaking news story by going to the Associated Press, our partners. That wraps up our show. We'll see you back here next time, everyone. Bye-bye.